Will you hear me so loud and clearly? This is the last time you'll ever hear from me. Repeat these words now. Who died and made you king? Goodbye, Mr. Personality.
I'm here with Les and Jake. I saw the new EP, Greetings From, and an anthology DVD for Les and Jake. So that's really exciting. And you seem to crank out a new album every other year. Do you have a creative cycle in the every other year, or is that just a complete coincidence?
I think we try to make sure that we have something out every 2 years, but we're not sure exactly if it should be 2 years, or how long it's supposed to be, or how long we're supposed to be doing in between releases. So we just kind of come up with whenever we feel like we should release something. You know. So in the last 2 releases we've done are EPs, and there was one released at the end of last year and one released in summer of this year. So that's what we've been doing.
Can you speak to behind the making of Greetings From?
You know, we just sat down in Florida and we had these song ideas, and we didn't have enough songs to actually make a full record, so we're like, we'll just make an EP and try to make it the best that we can. So that was really the only thought behind it, and so far so good.
Well, I love the new single, Goodbye, Mr. Personality, and the first thing that came to my head was the English Beat, which was a really big band back in the 70s and the 80s. I think they were a little bit ahead of their time and had kind of a reggae rock kind of feel. And when I think of Les and Jake, I think of more the ska punk.
Right.
Is Les and Jake going into a reggae trend now? Or is that, you've always been sort of a reggae fan?
We've always had reggae influences, but I think we're starting to explore them more as we're getting older. You know, it's not that we're opposed to it. I think now it's like we're just, you know, slowing down, and as we slow down naturally, we're going to slow our music down just a little bit, but it's fun, it's good, you know, so it's nice to kind of stretch out into something that still feels comfortable, but it's a little different for our band, you know.
Were there any predecessor bands that influenced Les and Jake and the style that you have today?
Yes, The Descendants, Iron Maiden, Snuff, they're a band from the UK, Operation Ivy, Mighty Mighty Bosstones. That pretty much covers it.
Les and Jake is a huge following worldwide, and after seeing you all play at Summerfest in 2010, I was keeping an eye on your tour page, and I saw you did an extensive tour in the US, and then you went over to Japan, and then you went over to Europe and toured the UK, Germany, Belgium, and the Netherlands. What is the concert experience like when you go to the other countries? The fans have a different kind of a feel than they do in different parts of the world.
It's different. Every place is different, but it's still the same. You know, it's different because there's different languages spoken, and it's different because you're in a different country, different time zone. You know, but the core of what the show is still the same. There's still the band, the fans, and the energy and the music. So it's all still the same. It's just different countries. You know, I know it's kind of a weird thing to say, but it's pretty much the same mass of humanity. There's certain subtle differences, you know, but nothing that would seem out of place, I don't think, to a Western fan, like going east or, you know, to Australia or Europe or England or wherever, in South America. It's all pretty much the same. It's band, music, fans, energy. It's great.
So how does a band out of Gainesville, Florida get such a huge following? I personally know some people over in Scandinavia. They're crazy about Les and Jake.
It's luck, I guess. Luck. I don't really. That's the hardest question to answer. I don't know why. It just is. I don't know why many bands are popular. They just are. You know, you can't dictate what people like, you know, or what they're gonna latch onto. So we're just lucky. One of the lucky ones, I guess.
Do you think the digital age and the age of the web helps to make that easier for bands to get a worldwide presence than, say, 17 years ago when Les and Jake started out the gate?
Yeah, I mean, you know, 17 years ago, the only way you were found was via, like, CD compilations or cassette compilations, or, you know, you got an ad in a magazine, or, you know, but it was mostly word of mouth, you know, rather than doing how it is now, where bands just, you know, they create websites and t-shirt designs before they even write a song, you know, so it's definitely a different time in music right now, but we just have always been who we are. We've tried to keep up with the times, but we haven't tried to morph ourselves to fit in with the times. We just continue to be our band, I guess.
All the original members are still with the band?
The lineup that we have now has been together for 13 years, so not original members, but this is pretty much the band everybody knows.
It's a significant amount of time. Did you have any growing pains through those 13 years?
Of course, you know, it's like any other relationship. You go through your ups, your downs, your ins and outs, and then you know, try to compromise in the middle somewhere. You know, if you don't have that communication with each other, it's over. Like in any relationship, you know, you have to have good communication. So I think the fact that we're all still friends kind of helps, you know, the longevity of it. If we didn't like each other, it would be a lot harder. But we all like each other still. So.
What was your reaction to the untimely death of Amy Winehouse? And, you know, a band that's been around this long, obviously you've done something to avoid the pitfalls of...
Tragic. It's tragic. Sad when, you know, I've had a lot of friends go before their time, or maybe they were supposed to, but then you wonder if that was the time they were supposed to go, you know. And I wouldn't try to make light of it, but I feel like there's so many other things out there that are able to take you out, you know, that are able to end your life, that this one thing that you can control, if you can't control it, then maybe you should not do it. You know what I mean? But I guess each person has to have that self-awareness to know when they can't control it anymore. And the people that were around her, I think, are as much to blame as anybody else because they knew she had a problem. So, but, you know, unfortunately, when there's a cash machine, all they care about is the cash, you know, so it's sad, but not an uncommon thing. It's happened 1,000 times.
Do you think bands and you know, artists that are vulnerable to the pitfalls of, you know, the rock star life and addiction and what happened with, you know, Amy Winehouse in a sense, do you think they can be exploited?
Yeah.
Because, you know, you look at Judy Garland, who's that quintessential example as a child, was exploited by the studios and given drugs. Do you think that is some? And then how does a band and artist, how do you survive that?
Fire everybody. That's what you have, is you have that control. You can just tell everybody to fuck off, you know. But unfortunately, a lot of artists aren't very smart, nor do they want to be smart. And the people who are around them just keep them that way. It's better to keep them that way, because once they get smart, then that's a problem, you know. So, hey, that's their choice. Unfortunately, in life, there are no bad choices, only bad consequences, you know. So, you just have to choose wisely, I guess.
So what's coming up for Less Than Jake? Are you continuing on the band's work tour? Or?
We finished the work tour, and then we are taking the rest of 2011 off. And if the world doesn't come to an end in 2012, next year will be our 20th anniversary as a band. And we're going to do some kind of world tour around it. And you'll hear more about it after the new year, but that's pretty much the plan right now. So we're just going to have fun on the rest of the summer, and then take the fall and winter and hang out.
A message for your fans.
Yes, thank you for everything, because if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be able to keep doing this. So, thank you.